Good evening. I know it's late in the day, but I had a busy day trying to get our house cleaned up and straightened up after the holidays today. But I did not want to let the day go by without doing the devotion for today. Day 7 is God meets us right where we are. And this is so very true. We've all been through those moments in life where we couldn't quite figure out what we were supposed to do. And God being so abounding and gracious in his patience will meet us right where we're at to get us from where we are to where we need to be. The story today comes from the story of Gideon in Judges 6. And it says this: Gideon said to God, "If you will save Israel by my hand, as you have promised, look, I will place wool fleece on the threshing floor. If there is dew only on the fleece and all the ground is dry, then I will know that you will save Israel by my hand, as you said." And that is what happened. Gideon rose early the next day. He squeezed the fleece and wrung out the dew, a bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not be angry with me. Let me ask just one more request. Allow me one more test with the fleece, but this time make the fleece dry and let the ground be covered with dew." That night, God did so. Only the fleece was dry and the ground was covered with dew. It's amazing. So often God will call us to do things and we're so hesitant to step out on faith and do what we're supposed to do. I've had this experience. You've had this experience. We've all had it. And God is so patient with us, and he helps us from where we are to where we need to be. And I think it's great to understand that and to see that God will help us out. And he doesn't get angry with us. He just provides that mechanism to take us to the next level. Some of the prayer reflections for today are great. It says this: how can it change your prayer life to think of God's patience with Gideon? Hopefully in your prayer life, you'll understand, okay, it's okay to ask this question. Now, when you ask this question and God gives you the answer, you got to be ready to move to that next level. But God's patient. He wants you to come to him and talk to him and ask him what you're supposed to do, so that you're not stepping out on your own, but instead you're walking with God. The second one: have you ever had a putting out the fleece moment with God in your journey? What did it teach you about his faithfulness? I can tell you personally, when I've asked and God's kind of given those clear answers in that moment where we can step forward, it helps me understand that God is faithful to walk with me through every aspect of my life. Think of a decision in your past where you were hesitant to make, even though you knew it was God's call in your life. How did that work out? I'll tell you personally, I found myself miserable until I was willing to take that step. And that's usually what happens if we're hesitant to step out, even though God's made it clear. He's not going to make you comfortable in your circumstance. He's going to make you uncomfortable so that you're willing to move forward. So that hesitancy, although it's understandable sometimes, usually does not work out well. And the last question was, what does it mean to you that the God of the universe meets you right where you are in your doubt and hesitation? What does it say about how he must feel about you? And the answer to this is easy. It's love. He loves you so much that he is willing to meet you where you're at, and then kind of walk with you through that valley, through that desert, through that difficult time, to take you to that next place where he's going to bless you abundantly. It's great to know that God will meet us right where we're at, and it's okay. It's okay to ask those questions. It's okay to have those doubts, but when God gives you the answer, it's also not okay to stay where you're at. Then you have to step forward. I hope you have a great evening. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow.